What if the secret to glowing skin and stronger joints after 60 isn't hidden in a fancy bottle or expensive cream, but already sitting quietly in your kitchen, waiting to be noticed? For so many of us, aging can feel like a slow letting go. You wake up one day, and the reflection looking back at you in the mirror seems a little more tired. The glow that once came so effortlessly now feels like it's fading. Wrinkles deepen, joints grow stiff, and we're told, again and again, that it's just a part of getting older. But what if that's only part of the story? You see, most of us have been led to believe that aging is something we can't do anything about, that it's fixed, unstoppable, a one-way road. But the truth, backed by both ancient wisdom and modern science, is far more empowering. How we age is deeply shaped by how we nourish ourselves. From the foods we eat to the small, loving rituals we practice each day, our choices become the caretakers of our vitality. Because here's something I want you to remember. Deep in your bones, you haven't lost your glow. It's not gone. It just needs a little reminder from the inside out. In today's video, I'm going to walk with you through 6 simple, everyday foods that gently restore your body's natural collagen, the protein that keeps your skin smooth, your joints flexible, and your body feeling vibrant. These are not trends. They're not overnight fixes. They're timeless tools. Practical, nourishing, and deeply healing. So take a deep breath, make yourself a warm cup of tea, and settle in. Because for the next 23 minutes, we're going to rediscover something beautiful together. The power to age with strength, with softness, and yes, with glow. Part 1. The Forgotten Power of Gelatin. Barbara never thought much about collagen. In fact, the word rarely came up in her daily life. At 67, her concerns were simpler. Her knees ached every time she got out of her chair, her fingers felt stiff when folding laundry, and her skin, which once had a gentle, healthy glow, now felt dry, thin, and just tired. But she wasn't one to complain. Like many women her age, she quietly chalked it up to just getting older. That's what we've been told, isn't it? That brittle nails, creaky joints, and papery skin are the price of growing older. That it's something we just have to accept. And yet, there was something in her that wasn't ready to give up on feeling good. One afternoon, while visiting her daughter, Barbara noticed a simple jar sitting on the kitchen counter. Plain gelatin powder. Her daughter stirred it into her tea each morning, saying it helped her joints feel looser, her digestion calmer. "Give it a try, Mom," she offered with a warm smile. "It won't hurt." Barbara brought the jar home. She wasn't expecting magic. But every morning, as the kettle whistled and sunlight slipped through the blinds, she stirred 1 quiet teaspoon into her mug of chamomile. No fanfare, no dramatic transformation, but slowly, gently, things began to shift. It started with her knees. She noticed she could walk down the steps without bracing herself on the rail. Then it was her hands. Folding clothes didn't feel like a chore anymore. A few weeks later, as she applied lotion one night, she paused. Her skin felt smoother, a little softer, a little more like it used to. She smiled to herself, not out of vanity, but out of quiet victory. That's the forgotten power of gelatin. Gelatin is not just some dusty ingredient from an old recipe book. It's rich in glycine and proline, two amino acids that form the very foundation of collagen. And collagen, as you might already know, is the protein that keeps our skin supple, our joints flexible, and our connective tissue strong. Think of it as the glue that holds everything together. But here's the thing. After age 25, we start losing collagen naturally. Slowly at first, then more noticeably with each passing decade. By the time we're in our 60s, that slow leak becomes a deeper loss, and we feel it. In our skin, in our nails, in the little creaks and aches that didn't used to be there. The beauty of gelatin is that it works from the inside out. Unlike expensive serums or trendy pills, gelatin offers foundational support to your body's own collagen-making process. It's like sending in the raw materials so your body can do the repair work it remembers how to do. It just needs the building blocks again. And the best part? It's easy. No special equipment, no complicated recipes. How to do it? Start with grass-fed, high-quality gelatin. Add 1 teaspoon to any warm drink, tea, broth, or even your morning decaf. Stir gently until it dissolves. You can also sprinkle it into oatmeal or soup. The flavor disappears, but the nourishment doesn't. For those who enjoy experimenting, homemade fruit gummies with a bit of juice and gelatin are a lovely way to bring something joyful into your kitchen. It's not about chasing youth. It's not about pretending to be 40 again. It's about supporting the body you're in. The body that has walked you through decades of life, of joy, of loss, of growth. The body that has held children, comforted friends, built homes, endured storms. That body deserves softness. It deserves support, and sometimes it starts with something as small and unassuming as a teaspoon of gelatin in a warm cup of tea. You're not reversing the clock. You're honoring the life you've lived and giving your body a chance to feel good in it again. Because this season of life isn't about decline. It's about returning, gently, steadily, to the best of what's still within you. Part 2. Bone broth. Liquid comfort. Carol used to start every morning with a mug of black coffee and the newspaper, sitting by her sunroom window while the world slowly came alive outside. It was her moment, warm, familiar, a small indulgence after decades of early mornings getting kids to school, managing an office, and holding life together like the quiet anchor she always was. But by her early 60s, the mornings had started to feel different. Her joints ached before her feet even touched the floor. Getting out of bed wasn't hard because of tiredness. It was the tightness in her knees, the stiffness in her hands. She used to move with ease. Now she moved with hesitation. "I thought this was just aging," Carol said. "I thought this was what we're supposed to accept." But then a friend, a retired nurse, told her something she couldn't shake. "What if you swapped your morning coffee for something your bones actually want?" That question stayed with her. She remembered her grandmother, how she'd simmer a big pot of soup on Sundays. Back then they called it stock. She called it medicine in disguise. What she didn't know then was that bone broth, when made the old-fashioned way, is more than a cozy kitchen tradition. It's liquid collagen. It's nourishment you sip. The science is catching up now. When bones are simmered slowly, for at least 12 hours, they release collagen, hyaluronic acid, glucosamine, chondroitin, and trace minerals like magnesium, phosphorus, and calcium. These compounds help rebuild the very scaffolding of our bodies, the joints, the skin, the connective tissues that begin to lose resilience as we age. Carol decided to give it a try. Nothing drastic, just twice a week, she brewed a pot using leftover chicken bones, a splash of apple cider vinegar to help pull minerals from the bones, some carrots, celery, onions, and herbs from her garden. She sipped it slowly from her favorite mug. At first, it was just a comforting ritual. But by the third week, she noticed her hands didn't feel quite so tight when she folded laundry. Her morning walks didn't require her to pause at the corner and stretch her knees. She started moving like herself again, not all at once, but inch by gentle inch. She even smiled when she caught herself humming in the kitchen. "It feels like I came home to my own body again," she wrote in her journal. "You don't need to be a chef to make this. You just need patience and a good pot." Here's how to start. Save bones from roasted chicken, turkey, or even beef. Place them in a large stock pot or slow cooker. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar. This helps draw the minerals out of the bones. Add water to cover. Toss in onions, garlic, carrots, celery, bay leaves, whatever you like. Simmer on low heat for 12 to 24 hours. Strain and store. Sip warm or use as a base for soups and stews. It's not just about joints. It's about quiet healing, about wrapping yourself in warmth from the inside out. Bone broth isn't new. It's not trendy. It's ancestral wisdom rediscovered, the kind of care that doesn't shout, but speaks clearly to the body. You are still supported. And there's something powerful in that. Because when you sit with a warm cup between your hands, you're not just sipping broth. You're sipping generations of knowing. You're choosing nourishment. You're telling your body, "I'm here, I still care." And sometimes, that's all healing really needs to begin. Part 3. Egg whites. The underrated skin saver. Age shows up in the softest places first, Margaret once said, as she traced her fingers gently along the smile lines near her eyes. She's 72, soft-spoken, and the kind of woman who's always had a calm, steady glow about her, inside and out. But even she noticed a shift. It wasn't vanity that bothered her. It was something deeper. The way her skin felt thinner, more fragile. The way her joints didn't move with quite the same ease in the morning. And the way, in certain light, her reflection didn't look tired, just unfamiliar. One afternoon, over tea with her daughter, they talked about aging. Her daughter, a nutritionist, leaned in and said, "Mom, you don't need new creams. You need more proline." "Pro what?" Margaret laughed. "Proline," her daughter smiled. "It's an amino acid your body needs to build collagen. It's in egg whites. Simple as that." That night, Margaret cracked 2 eggs, separated the whites, and whipped them gently with a fork. She added a pinch of dill, a few sautéed mushrooms, and poured it into a warm pan. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't complicated. But as she sat by her window, watching dusk fall with her little plate of care, she felt something different. A shift. Not in her body, but in her attention. Over the next few weeks, she returned to this small practice, and gradually her skin felt less paper-thin, her joints less creaky, her confidence lighter. She began walking more, laughing more. And one morning, looking in the mirror, she smiled, Not because everything was fixed, but because she felt connected again. Egg whites aren't new, they're not fancy, but they are powerful in their simplicity. They are rich in proline, a vital amino acid that plays a central role in collagen synthesis, particularly in creating the triple helix structure that gives collagen its strength. Without enough proline, the collagen your body tries to make becomes weaker, less supportive. But with it, skin stays supple, joints stay smooth, and you, well, you stay more you. Here's how you can try it. Use 2 egg whites daily, scrambled, whisked into a veggie omelet, or blended into a smoothie. Go for pasture-raised organic eggs when possible. They're higher in essential nutrients like omega-3s and antioxidants. Pair with vitamin C-rich fruits or veggies to enhance collagen absorption. And give yourself a few quiet minutes to enjoy it. Not just to eat, but to acknowledge what you're giving your body. Because food isn't just fuel. It's memory. It's medicine. And sometimes, it's love. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to erase the years. But you can remind your body, gently, lovingly, that it's still worth nurturing. Margaret's story isn't unique. It's just often untold, and that's what makes it beautiful. So tomorrow morning, when you open the fridge, think of those egg whites not as leftovers, but as a whisper from your body that says, thank you. Part 4. Garlic, the kitchen collagen keeper. Helen never liked clutter, especially not in her bathroom. No jars of serums lined her shelves, no fancy creams in tiny, expensive pots. Her beauty routine lived where the warmth was, in her kitchen. Every evening, just before dinner, she'd pull out a few cloves of garlic. She'd press them gently with the side of her knife, not with haste, but with a kind of quiet ritual. Then she'd let them rest, 10 full minutes, on a small ceramic dish her husband had made back in their pottery class 40 years ago. While the garlic sat, she'd hum an old tune, stir a pot of greens, or simply look out the window at the fading sun. Helen was 65 when she began this ritual, not for beauty, but for her heart. But something else started to happen. Her skin changed. Not drastically, not overnight, but slowly, surely. The dullness began to lift. That tired, papery feeling on her hands and cheeks softened. Friends began asking if she'd done something. And she had, just not in the way they expected. Garlic, as unassuming as it looks, holds a secret under its skin. It's rich in sulfur compounds, particularly allicin, which helps preserve existing collagen and protect it from oxidative stress, the kind that accelerates aging. When crushed and left to rest, garlic becomes more than a flavor. It becomes medicine. A natural collagen defender, working silently in your system to slow the breakdown that time tries to speed up. And it doesn't require a prescription or a product. It just needs care. Here's how to make garlic your quiet ally. Start with 1 to 2 fresh cloves daily. Crush or chop them and let them sit for 10 minutes. This allows the allicin to fully activate. Then sauté gently. Low heat, no burning, or stir raw garlic into cooked vegetables just before serving. Add it to olive oil dressings, soups, roasted veggies, or even mashed avocado. Garlic's strength isn't just in its compounds, it's in its constancy. It doesn't promise instant miracles, but over time, it shows up. in smoother skin, in steadier joints, in that extra breath of energy at the end of the day. And the beauty of it, you probably already have it in your kitchen. You don't need to chase the next big thing. You don't need to decode the latest label. Sometimes the most powerful things are the ones passed down through hands, through kitchens, through memory. Helen didn't turn back the clock. She just leaned into what works, what's real, what honors the body she's walked through decades with. So tonight, as you prep your meal, take a clove of garlic. Crush it with intention. Let it rest. Let yourself rest. And remember, healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's sautéed in olive oil with a little parsley and love. Part 5. Spirulina, the ocean's gift. If someone handed you a teaspoon of bright green powder and said, "This can help your skin, your hair, your nails, maybe even your energy," would you believe them? Joyce didn't. At 61, she considered herself a realist. A retired nurse, she had tried her share of health trends, pills that promised glow, creams that whispered youth. Nothing stuck. "I don't believe in magic anymore," she said, until spirulina showed up on her kitchen counter. It was her daughter's doing. A gift wrapped in a mason jar with a handwritten label. "Try me. Just a spoonful a day." She looked at it, smelled it, wrinkled her nose. "Smells like pond water," she muttered. And then she tried it anyway, half a teaspoon, stirred gently into her morning citrus smoothie. Day 1, she tasted the ocean. Day 5, she forgot it was even there. By the end of the second week, something subtle had shifted. Her nails stopped flaking. Her hair had more spring. The skin around her eyes, usually dull in the morning light, seemed to catch a softer glow. And while she didn't run to the mirror shouting miracles, she noticed. She felt it. Quietly. Steadily. Spirulina isn't just green powder. It's a treasure chest from the sea. Packed with glycine and copper, 2 of collagen's essential building blocks. Glycine helps form the structural matrix of skin, while copper binds collagen fibers together, keeping them strong, elastic, and whole. And there's more. Spirulina brims with antioxidants, those tiny protectors that defend your skin against the daily wear of time, stress, and environment. It's not a miracle. It's a mineral-rich message from the ocean. I'm here to help. If the taste is what holds you back, citrus is your ally. Oranges, pineapple, lemon, they take the edge off. Try blending spirulina into a smoothie with banana, Greek yogurt, and a splash of orange juice. You'll barely taste the sea, but your body will remember it. How to begin? Start with 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of organic spirulina powder daily. Mix into fruit-based smoothies or sprinkle into chilled soups or dressings. Store it in a cool, dark place. This gift from the ocean deserves care. And if you're still unsure, remember Joyce. She didn't believe either, until her reflection changed without her even trying. A spoonful of spirulina isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring what's still blooming inside of you. You don't need to swim in the ocean, just a spoonful of its wisdom. Part 6. Pumpkin seeds. The mighty mineral snack. Nancy had always been a go-getter. At 64, she still hiked, gardened, and volunteered twice a week. But over the past year, she noticed something small, yet frustrating. A paper cut lingered for nearly 2 weeks. A scrape on her shin turned dry and flaky, refusing to fade. Her skin felt thinner, slower to bounce back. "I'm healing," she thought, "but not the way I used to." She wasn't wrong. As we age, our skin doesn't just wrinkle, it recovers more slowly. And one key mineral often missing from that healing process? Zinc. Pumpkin seeds, tiny, humble, often swept off the cutting board, are one of the richest natural sources of zinc. And zinc is no minor player. It's the behind-the-scenes director of collagen production, tissue repair, and skin hydration. Without it, the body struggles to rebuild. With it, healing happens, quietly, steadily, from within. Nancy didn't take a supplement. She didn't overhaul her meals. She just started sprinkling a handful of pumpkin seeds onto her lunchtime salad, lightly toasted with a pinch of sea salt. That's it. Within a few weeks, she noticed a shift. The cuts on her hands from pruning roses healed faster. Her elbows weren't as dry, and when her friend complimented her fresh-looking skin, Nancy smiled. Not because of the compliment, but because of how simple it had been. Here's how to make this tiny change for yourself. Choose raw or lightly roasted pumpkin seeds, also called pepitas. Roast them gently at 300 degrees Celsius for 8 to 10 minutes with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt, or cinnamon for a sweeter twist. Store in a glass jar and keep them on hand. Add to yogurt, oatmeal, salads, soups, or eat a handful as a snack. A quarter cup gives you nearly half your daily zinc needs. No pills, no powders, just food your body knows how to use. And here's the beauty of it. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's quiet, nourishing you in the background. Sometimes it comes in the form of a tiny seed, reminding your skin how to restore, your cells how to repair, and your heart that healing is still happening, even when you're not looking. So next time you pass by the pumpkin seeds in the store, don't see them as garnish, see them as an offering of strength, of simplicity, of self-care in its most delicious form. Part 7. Bonus nutrients. Vitamin C, copper, and zinc. Collagen isn't built alone. It's a team effort. By now, you've met the stars of the show. Gelatin, bone broth, eggs, garlic, spirulina, pumpkin seeds. But even the brightest actors need their supporting cast. Because here's the truth. Collagen doesn't build itself. Your body needs more than just protein. It needs the right helpers to turn those building blocks into strong, flexible skin and joints that move without complaint. That's where vitamin C, copper, and zinc come in. Think of them as the quiet backstage crew, holding things together, making the whole production shine. Vitamin C is the spark. It activates the enzymes that knit collagen fibers together. Without it, your body can't complete the process. You'll find it in oranges, yes, but also in bell peppers, strawberries, even broccoli. And when you enjoy these raw or lightly cooked, you preserve their power. It's more than an immune booster. It's a collagen catalyst. Copper adds strength. It helps link collagen strands, giving skin its firmness and flexibility. You don't need much, but you do need it regularly. Cashews, sunflower seeds, and even a square of dark chocolate offer a gentle way to keep this mineral in steady supply. Zinc, as you've heard, is the repairman. Without it, even the best collagen ingredients can't land in your system. It supports healing, strengthens skin, and acts as a co-pilot for vitamin C. lentils, chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, they're not just for vegetarians. They're for anyone who wants resilient skin and steady joints. And here's something beautiful. These nutrients often live in the very same foods you're already enjoying. A colorful salad, a warm cup of broth, a snack of roasted seeds. You don't need to chase pills or powders. You just need to remember that collagen is teamwork. And the more you bring balance to your plate, the more your body says thank you in quiet, powerful ways. So as you sip your tea or plan your next meal, ask, what simple support can I add today? Because even a glow needs grounding. And even strong things are built with help. Nourish your glow. Let's take a quiet breath together. We've just walked through 6 powerful foods, humble, familiar, and quietly transformative. From the tender gel of gelatin to the ocean-born richness of spirulina, from a clove of garlic to a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, these aren't trends. They're traditions rediscovered. They're not about chasing perfection or reversing time. They're about remembering who you are, a woman, a man, a soul still alive with glow, still worthy of feeling whole. These foods don't whisper promises from a bottle or demand faith in expensive regimens. They show up on your table, in your soups, your smoothies, your quiet morning rituals. Each bite says, I still deserve to feel strong. I still deserve to feel good in my skin. Because aging isn't a problem, it's a progression, and you're not here to fight it. You're here to move with it, gracefully, intentionally, and without apology. So which of these will you try first? Maybe it's a warm cup of bone broth in place of coffee, or 2 egg whites folded gently into breakfast. Or maybe, just maybe, it's that spoonful of pumpkin seeds reminding you that strength can be small and still mighty. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment. Share what you'll try, or simply tell us what made you feel seen, like, subscribe, come back, because we're building something here, a table full of food, full of wisdom, full of life, and you, dear friend, are always welcome at it.